GM everyone. It's 11:30 now, so it's time for the weekly upsprint. Today is August 15th, 2022. First up, we have Donna in support. GM Donna.
Hello, GM everyone. So last week was a slower week than the previous one in terms of tickets. We had 84 new tickets, which is a 33% decrease from last week's numbers. Full resolution median time is at 8 hours. First reply median time is at 2.4 hours. 71% of the tickets were resolved in one touch. Total solved tickets is at 87, which is a 25% decrease from the previous week's report. If you noticed, we are having a delayed wait time in terms of resolution and first reply time because our team is one agent less as part of the budget cuts that we had to make for the DAO. SS Jules has been let go from the team, and we wish him all the best in his future. CryptoMeg is also officially on maternity leave and will be back sometime in mid-October. Mogi is currently acting as interim workstream leader and will be attending leadership calls and handling payroll for the support workstream. And then support is getting help from the operations and engineering team to filter out security and vulnerability reports that come through the Zendesk queue. Thanks to Tyler and Ox5 for helping us figure out this request. And then lastly, Mogi is working with product to get our help desk tailored so the widget on app.shapeshift.com will show relevant articles depending on what section of the app the user is on. Basically, that's it for me today. Thanks for your time, everyone. Happy Monday.
Thanks for those updates, Donna. Next up, we got H Payne and Marketing. GM H Payne.
GM Ron, good morning. Happy Monday to you. So last week, to recap some things, we had some new social media roadmap laid out in marketing. We're going to be separating a lot of those social campaigns as we start building out those main profiles, specifically oriented towards more traditional Web 2 platforms. Growth will be taking a lot of those Web 3 platforms. On those platforms specifically, pardon me, we launched a very successful UTXO support campaign specifically targeted around Doge. Continuing that into this week with Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin on Reddit with that specific Dogecoin campaign. We got about 5,000 views, which was fantastic. And on Twitter, we got about 500 engagements through that campaign. Very exciting stuff. New partnerships, Prime DAO, we did a Twitter space with them. It's a very, very exciting thing. Definitely check out the partnership there down below if you have not. And as well, check out our forum post, actually Willie's forum post for Metaforo regarding new governance options and opportunities. Is doing some more marketing coordination this week, which is very, very, very exciting. Looking forward to that. So this week, we have tweets, and more tweets. Fox ETH LP on app.shapeshift.com should be going live today. Keep your eyes peeled for something there. We also purchasing AVAX on with Banksa should also be going live. Looking to market Git PoApp and Track App, as well as a campaign specifically around FoxCrypt and a potential privacy using ShapeShift. We're hoping for Cow Swap to go live, pending engineering approval. And lastly, to sum it up, we have an HTML template for newsletters. As you've probably noticed, those have stopped weekly. We've moved to a monthly platform. And we're hoping to get those in HTML on the website so that we can view them. And we also have, in terms of PR, we have a PR request for the ETH merge arranged with Bloomberg. So we have an arrangement with Bloomberg with Postigos talking about keep key increase in hardware sales. Great. Check out those marketing metrics there. And then we're also meeting with Gray and Products to discuss new branding and messaging and sort of how we're going to be concise with that moving forward. Thank you very much, Ron.
Thanks for those updates, H Payne. Next up, we got the Smith and Globalization. GM this one.
Hello, GM. Well, let me bring Vlad to the stage too. I'm inviting him. So yes, we have quick updates for globalization. Vlad, do you want to start, and then I cover the translation updates?
You said I start?
Sorry?
You said I start?
Oh,
Sorry, I forgot what it said. Can you guys hear me well?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, guys. So we have our globalization kickoff today, starting of a new age. We also on our side taking care of events agenda in Colombia that's going to happening. It's going to we are looking into DevCon, Cosmoverse, um, and other events that are going to be placed in Colombia, and thinking how the Chill Fox chain and other ShapeShift uh, ecosystem on there. I also had an interview on a national TV talking about DAOs that was kind of handled, but that happened. And I talk about ShapeShift and stuff. I was in the ShapeShift church. I put a picture in general if you guys want to check. And the Smith is working on German translations. I think the Smith's better talking
Yeah.
about number 4, number 5.
Yeah, I can cover these topics, and thank you for all good work that you have been doing, Vlad. The Bandeirantes TV is the 30th biggest media in Brazil, so isn't easy to be there, right? Only few people can handle with an interview on the television, right? And especially Bandeirantes. So congratulations, dude. Global is very proud, and I'm sure the whole organization is proud too. So moving to translations updates. So
Thank you, man. My hair was terrible, by the way. One more thing.
No, it's okay.
We are also we didn't wrote this one, but we're also building like a onboard process on Fox for new users on Portuguese,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're doing this on Share. So it's gonna be like a bounded onboard process for people that doesn't know much. I believe this is important in case of Portuguese and maybe other language. So this is a first test.
Yeah, we're calling this learn to earn, like something like, right?
No, we're not calling that. But,
I'm calling
because
it. Yeah, I'm calling it.
anyway, go ahead, man. Number 4, number
Yeah,
5, and 6.
yeah, we are brainstorming about a smooth onboarding process for languages, right? So this is very important for not only for the Discord, but the whole organization and every sphere, right? So talking about translations, will be quick. Working around German translations in the app, so we need to finish do some adjustments on Git repository. Thank you, OXD5, have been supporting us every time on GitHub, and Firebomb have been performing a great work in this dev side. We are preparing new pull requests for web and lib repositories. So we'll publish some updates for Portuguese, Spanish, and French. And lastly, we just finished our first Weglot round. For those who know, Weglot is the tool which are translating the .com, right? So we finished it in Portuguese, Spanish, and French, and reached 5,000 translations requests so far in the API on last 30 days. So those are not unique page views, but it's a good number to see, to take care, because we are getting traffic on these languages in .com, and we intend to increase that, right? So they are a little bit shy, but we are working on that. Okay, so that's all for globalization, and thank you, everybody.
Thanks to the globalization team. Next up, we got Jankin and the Mod Squad. GM Jankin. Maybe. If he's not here, I can just read it off. Looks like there was one raid this week. He's playing around with another bot for various use. Seems to have some cool features. He prefers Vortex, but unsure if it will update. So I guess we'll keep an eye out on that. Next up, we got Diggy in the product team. GM Diggy.
GM, I really like your avatar. I love Toothless.
Thank you.
Cool. GM, everybody. So we worked on the product side last week through multiple accounts, talking through the UX and the impacts that it's going to have across the entire application. Did the spec for that, and we have a review with engineering on that later today. Wallet Connect 2.0, same thing, the spec is ready, the UX is ready. So we are having a review with engineering and Keep Key on that, I think, tomorrow. And then there's a Mount Pelerin bounty underway by a community dev. This is another fiat ramp provider that also has a rev share in place. And then the new trade UI, Beard has been working on this and getting it ready to get hooked up for the Swapper Goodness Epic. And then following that, we will be working on the advanced trade settings. The UI and the spec for advanced trade settings is ready, but we won't be integrating those until Swapper Goodness is done. And then MetaMask Snaps, the spec is almost ready. So we're planning to review the spec with engineering later this week and get all buttoned up there. And then the ability for native wallet users to back up their native wallet, the spec was done on Friday, created the bounty, threw some UI in there and handed it off to DeFi. So I think StackQ might be picking up that one next. And then one more thing, right now uploading all of the newsletters onto shapeshift.com across the different languages is a very burdensome process on Hoff in general. And it's kind of a pain. So I've been working with Arena and we're trying to figure out a way to improve it. So one of our approaches right now is to look at actually building out a web page for each newsletter that could be translated using the translation tool that's already on the website, and it would be hopefully much easier of a process. So working with Hoff on that one right now behind the scenes. And thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Iggy. Next up, we got DeFi Cafe and Engineering. GM DeFi.
GM. I actually found the mute button this time. Okay, so Fox LP is done from a code perspective, and the farming portion of that is in review. Like H Payne said, we've got kind of the marketing stuff ready to go there, but just have to make sure that we're kind of satisfied from a technical and product side first, which is great because that would bring app to feature parity with fox.shapeshift.com. So it's another thing that we can put to bed or redirect. Thorchain on the technical side of things is code complete. We're going to start some kind of discrete testing of that after the release today. In the background, some of the infrastructure is being stood up there to support that, so we're not relying on legacy infrastructure as well. CowSwap and V1 Swapper loose ends, so a lot of swapping stuff that's kind of related to Thorchain, CowSwap, and the existing implementation of Swapper. So we're putting some little bug fixes and stuff in so that we can ship both CowSwap and Thorchain. And then after that, on the technical side of things, like Diggy was saying, there's going to be kind of a whole new front end of Swapper, both from a technical and a look and feel perspective for users, with things like advanced trade settings and being able to select accounts to receive and send from things like Thorchain and other wallets that don't support multiple chains. And then kind of related to that and kind of related to the whole migration effort from beta is the account number work starting. So currently we only support account number 0 for the native wallet and other wallets. We're going to do, this is kind of like the chain agnosticism stuff that happened in the background. We're going to do a lot of kind of architectural, well, not a lot, but some architectural work in the background to remove that assumption that we made over a year ago now. And then that will allow us from a product perspective to support multiple accounts, which a lot of key users will need for big migration, and just kind of enable a new feature for users to be able to have multiple accounts with the same wallet, not necessarily at the same time, but just a kind of a new technical feature there. Idle finance work is in kind of rework and review. We're kind of working with their partner team there. We may take that one over internally, but that is another single-sided staking protocol. And then the YAT development work is progressing. So I had a really good chat with their CTO on Friday and gave them a good rundown on the technical side of things. So they have a lot more confidence now there, and that will be one of our kind of third vanity addresses to go along with ENS and unstoppable domains, and also have its own kind of page, potentially in the sidebar as kind of a partner, so we can buy and mint yats and things like that. So they're the main thing, and then a bunch of other kind of smaller things that are happening in the background. That's it from engineering.
Thanks, DeFi, for those updates. Next up, we got Thailand Operations. GM Tyler.
GM Ron. For operations this week, we've got a new marketing feature release thread. So if you're looking for updates or any comms between ops and marketing, please check that out. As we get things live, we try and make sure we have everything ready to go before PRs go out there, and that's the best place for organization that we've got. So feel free to follow those threads. They get posted here weekly. We've got operations office hours this week and a future forum post. I haven't gotten it completely drafted yet, but I'll have something going to the forum hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, but this week for sure. There's a link there for the triage report. 6 reported issues this week, 2 resolved, 3 related to UI UX, 1 related to wallet, and 2 related to trade DeFi features. Trying to keep it clean, so don't have a full 6 things to update this week. For the goat farm, there are threads for all of these individual things we are looking at, as well as ops representatives that can help coordinate any communication or requests for calls. We can still do go, no go calls, and some of those might be beneficial to some of these greater projects. But we have multi-currency support, Beach, AVAX, Osmo, CowSwap, Fox Farming, Fox LPing, all with a potential to be moved forward and get live this week, depending on how work goes that way. We've got threads for all of those. Making progress on that laundry list of things after the making progress line item as well. And then we've got some stats there on our PRs, 67 PRs and 10 repos by 5 contributors, 1 new contributor, 1 bounty created, and 1 closed successfully. So that's it from ops. Make it a good GM.
Thanks, Tyler. Next up, we got Kent in Tokenomics. How are you, Kent?
Good, Ron. How you doing today?
Good, good. It's a beautiful Monday morning.
Amen. Yeah, and hope everybody else is doing good today in Foxland. So tokenomics, this week we're looking at a couple various things. So one thing we've been looking at closely in the wake of the Tornado Cash censoring and, well, the OFAC sanctioning and then the subsequent censoring by a lot of things is just this notion that currently our entire stable stack is denominated in USDC, which is a centralized stable coin, which could be blacklisted hypothetically. We have no reason to think that the DAO would fall within that blacklist. We're obviously not, doing anything unethical, and what we're building is not does not touch on privacy type things that the regulators and other agencies could be concerned about. But still, given the relatively perceived higher risk of that happening, we've been discussing diversifying into stables. Tomorrow we'll talk about some of the ways in which we're considering doing that. The nice thing is, there are decentralized alternatives for stable coins, everything from LUSD. RAI is more of a volatility reduced coin rather than a stable, but that's something interesting. DAI potentially may end its reliance on USDC. So interesting area to keep abreast on here. In terms of our current Fox to USDC bonds, those continue to bring in about 10K a day. So that's wonderful to see. This is helping to steadily pay off the RARI loans. We'll touch on that tomorrow as well. Quick update on VFox. The VFox has made a 50,000 USDC allocation. This is in a stealth mode startup. Of course, the default mode here at the DAO is transparency. And we want to be equally transparent with the sub-DAO that's VFox. In this case, the startup has elected to remain in stealth mode for some strategic reasons. But this allocation has been made. We're excited to tell you more about it when that's feasible. We're also in ongoing research and discussions with other projects as well. It's a bear market, of course, and we have to be very, very judicious with any investments we do make, knowing that we do have a more limited treasury. But at the same time, investing in the bear market can can yield outsized rewards because just valuations are lower and investment capital is more scarce. Prime DAO is a newer project that's facilitating DAO to DAO token swaps. We are in the final stages of just wrapping up our listing on there. No, it's a non-committal sort of thing, but it could be good to just get the word out about the fact that Fox or that ShapeShift would love to engage potentially in DAO to DAO token swaps, especially those like DAOs with sort of overlapping and supporting ethos and values. Of course, we're big believers in DAOs here at the ShapeShift DAO. And then finally, we'll have some yieldy updates tomorrow during the Tokenomics call as well. So I hope everybody has an awesome and productive week.
Thanks, Ken. Finally, we got the Fox Foundation, Willie Fox, and Ocean GM.
GM Ron. So much shipping. I love it. Almost forgot we were in a bear market there.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ocean.
All right. Just a few quick updates today from the foundation. We had our board meeting last Thursday, which was very productive. As we did with the last one, as soon as we have meeting minutes, we will go through and redact anything that we're not able to publicly share and publish those in the Discord channel as well. Which I don't think there'll be much that will need to be redacted from it, but there may be a couple things. Progress on the mobile app is going well. We're currently still on schedule, which is wonderful. So both Major Hayes and Adam have been doing great work on that. Excited to see that moving forward. A bunch of people across the DAO have access to the test flight application on iOS and have been able to kind of poke around. Some people have even sent Bitcoin with the new app, so it's great to see the progress there. I think the biggest things that are remaining are some of the wallet connectivity work for storing seeds within a secure enclave on devices. And then one more thing from me before I let Willie take over is that we still have the vote up on Snapshot right now for modifying our ideation polling process and to move that to Snapshot. So hopefully Metaphora is coming along very quickly to make this kind of a non-issue, but in the interim, if you're interested, please go give that a read and express your opinion on it with your Fox tokens. That's it for me.
Thanks, Ocean. Speaking of Metaphoro, if you guys haven't heard of this yet, it's a Web3 alternative to Discourse, which is the tool we use for our forum. There is a discussion in our forum right now on migrating our forum discussion as well as our ideation process to Metaphoro. So before this goes into the proposal stage, I'm asking everyone to check Metaphoro out, see if there's any features that you loved about Discourse that Metaphoro doesn't yet offer, anything you didn't like about Discourse that you'd like Metaphoro to do better, or really any ideas you have around what the perfect forum tool for our community would look like. Metaphoro is very keen to hear our feedback, and they've already shown us pretty much every time we've had a feature request, they've turned around in about a week to deliver it, including this ideation functionality. So they've taken pretty much what ideation looked like back in the boardroom days, where it actually used the snapshot strategies to calculate your voting power, and they've rebuilt that into the polling feature in the forum so that when you create a poll, you can either use snapshot voting power to calculate it, or you can also do other types of polling, such as restricting voting to Fox token holders of any threshold, but still giving one vote per address. So it's a really cool tool. It's Web3 native. Their whole roadmap is focused on DAOs and decentralized communities. So pretty excited about it. And now's our chance to basically have this important discussion around, is this really the tool we want to move to from Discourse? Is now the time, or are there any other features that we would need to see before we migrate in? Or, if anyone else has another tool that they think we should be considering instead of Metaphoro, now is the time. So definitely look forward to hearing all of your feedback on this important discussion. The other update I have is that last Monday, our email account was placed on a compliance freeze, and we couldn't send any emails. Fortunately, as of this morning, we've worked with them to get our emailing capabilities turned back on. And we have clear guidance now on how to directly improve our email reputation. The reason that our account got frozen in the first place was that we had been advised to send emails out at about 5,000 per hour until our reputation was repaired. And apparently that is now a no-no, and the email tools have all put in algorithms to detect that and basically mark that as spam. And because of that, the email service provider saw that we were doing that and froze our account. But fortunately, from talking to them, we're all clear for now, and they've given us very clear guidance on what we should do to correctly repair our email reputation. So next step is to follow those instructions and repair our rep. But good news is that we can now send emails again. That's all. Back to you, Ron.
Well, that's good news that we can send emails again, and hopefully we'll get that repaired in no time. And if anyone else has anything, now would be the time to raise your hand or leave a comment on stage. Otherwise, we'll give everyone a few minutes back and have a great GM.
GM, everyone.
Looks like it'll be a great GM. Bye, everyone.